Blame it on the grain. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I just felt like singing, baby. I don't know. I just felt like singing. I tried something new this time. I long stretch armed, stronged, um, and hit the record button in Audacity and the record button on my camera. So hopefully, when I overlay the audio from my computer onto the video from my camcorder, it's way easier to get the sound to line up. I had a hell of a time last time. I also didn't know that it was going to change the aspect ratio. That was a term I learned, aspect ratio. And YouTube has a very specific aspect ratio. And social media has the inverse aspect ratio. YouTube is 16 to 9. Typical social media aspect ratio is 9 to 16. Nerd Talk with Aggressive Whiskers. I am Brett. This is episode 6 of Aggressive Whiskers podcast. How are you sexy people doing this evening? That was a rhetorical question. I don't care. No, that's not true. I care. But there's nothing I personally can do about how you feel. The way you feel inside is completely up to you. It has nothing, you have external stimuli affecting how you feel, but it is completely up to you on how you receive it and what you do with that external stimuli and how you regurgitate your feelings. No, episode 6 not going to be about that. However, I have had a note here since the beginning of time, since the beginning of this podcast. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the notes, 5 of 7 have been on that list every single week. And it's because I think there are better things to talk about sometimes, or some of those other things maybe take up more time and I don't get to these, or maybe they're too heavy, or I'm just not interested. But 5 of the 7 have been there since the beginning of this podcast. Since I started the way I started, I'm going to just jump right into one of them. It's okay to feel. And men have feelings too. Now, this isn't about some super woke, men are emotional. Like, men can be emotional, but there's nothing wrong. What I'm trying to say is human beings have a tendency to numb or want to not feel their feelings, whether they're good, sometimes whether they're good or they're just chasing the dragon, chasing that good. But if it's bad and it hurts and it's hard, they hide it or they mask it or they cover it up and they don't want to feel it. But it's okay. It's good to feel. You need to feel. You need to feel good, bad. You need to be bored. You need to feel indifferent. You need to be angry. You need to be confused. You need to be scared. It's all good. It's okay to feel. And men have feelings too. And I do think it's important that men remain manly in today's society. Too many Western civilization is really pussifying our men. But I think it's important that men are manly. But I also think it's important that men accept their feelings and don't mask them with opioids or substance abuse, because that just leads to bigger problems long term and even short term. There's so many things that could happen. But I just wanted to say it's okay for you to feel. There's a lot of feelings in the world right now that are not good. And a lot of people have very strong opinions about what's going on in the world, and that's okay. You should accept and just embrace those feelings, and just understand that if you have a man in your life, he's probably got feelings too, but he's afraid. Maybe he's not afraid. Maybe he is afraid to show them. But maybe he doesn't know it's okay with you if he expresses his feelings or shares them. Because manly men historically have been taught to not show their feelings or reach out for help. And male suicide is just absolutely through the roof these days. And I think it's partly for, well, not exclusively to blame, but it's partly to blame, this inability for men to share their feelings, and they don't know how to accept their feelings and deal with them. I don't know how to deal with all of my feelings sometimes. I'm very anxious a lot. I'm very unhappy a lot. Um, I I'm chasing solitude a lot, because when I'm by myself, I'm in control more than when all five people in the house are going and everybody's talking and everybody's got something to say or an opinion or their own feelings, um, or the 30 people that I'm constantly interacting with at work on a day-to-day basis have emotions and feelings. So I'm chasing that solitude, um, just because it allows me to be in control of my feelings, what's happening to me, and I just feel more comfortable. That's not to say that I don't like being with people, but I do find that I'm chasing solitude a lot. Sorry, when it comes time, since I'm the only person talking, I have to stop talking so I can write, because I'm not talented enough to do both at the same time. I cannot chew gum and walk. I cannot pat my head and rub my tummy, nor can I pat my tummy and rub my head. Now, if my buddy Adam was here, I could pat him and rub my tummy. I'm not. It'd be very weird, be very bizarre, but I think he would be okay with it. But what about you guys? I know there's a couple dudes that listen to this show. How do you feel about your feelings? Are you okay with Are you okay with your feelings? Did what I said make sense? Do you disagree? Do you agree with every word I say, and you are waiting with bated breath for the next profound thing to come out of my mouth? I doubt it. But I'm curious, because I know Radical Dadical Chatical listens. I know Podhead Rod listens. I think Scav D of the Fake Ass Radio Show, I think he listens. Good friend there, fellow podcaster, been around us since the previous incarnation of our podcast, which was called Hot Butter Podcast, which you can still go listen to. I challenge you folks to go listen to as many Hot Butter Podcast episodes as possible, and you will figure out why I am the way that I am. But I also, as far as Hot Butter is concerned, I had a hankering to fire it back up recently. And I've had to tell myself no, because it's too easy. It would be too easy to fire Hot Butter Podcast back up. Now, that's not saying Adam and I won't do something, because I still have, you can't see it, but behind me is an Angel Road Outdoors banner. I have $2 mounted on the wall. I do still want to do an outdoor show. I have finally learned, very elementary wise, how to use the Adobe Premiere photo or video editing program to put together a video. I put together the first real HD quality video for Angel Road Outdoors of my kayaking trip last year to Turnip Rock, which you can get to in Port Austin, Michigan, which is located over in the Thumb of Michigan. We launched our kayaks. We kayaked over there, and it was scrumptious. And I would hope that anybody that listens to this would go check out my Angel Road Outdoors YouTube page and give it a subscribe and give it a give that video a preview, and then leave me some commentos. Fart fairies. Fart fairies. Are you familiar with fart fairies? Sometimes I come up with things on the fly that I think are truly amazing. The other day, I thought about Thugs Bunny, only to learn that somebody else. Now, listen, I'm not so naive to think that nobody else in the history of time has thought about putting thugs instead of Bugs Bunny. So, Thugs Bunny. I'm not an idiot. But sometimes I think about those two, those things similar to that. and I searched the Google, hoping to find some photoshopped image for my enjoyment that I can repost on Instagram or something. And occasionally I'll find it, but that search started with Al Sharpton. A lot of people who know who Al Sharpton is, Reverend Al Sharpton, huge piece of shit. But I said Al Sharpton, like a great white shark. And I was really surprised that nobody had ever photoshopped Al Sharpton's face on a great white shark. And a friend of the show sent that over to us for me to use on my Twitter back when I had Twitter. And recently I downloaded a free app on my phone to do similar photoshops for those things that come up. So I did Dill Cosby, Dill Nye the Science Guy. I did Yarny Fife. I did, God, who the fuck was the other one? Tamale Sheedy or Tamale Ringwald. Tamale Ringwald. Tamale Ringwald. Tamale. The fuck am I talking about? Tamale Ringwald. So I did a couple of those. I really like them. And another thing that came out of my mouth the other day was fart fairies. I have a 3-year-old, an 8-year-old, and an 11-year-old. And because of me, there is a lot of poop, fart, and fluid talk at all times in this house. And we were talking about farts the other day at the dinner table. And I explained to my 3-year-old that when you fart, the fart fairies appear and they talk to the fart and they flutter around it. You can't see them. They're very small. And their flutters is what carries the aroma throughout the room. Now, I don't know about you, but I would say that was genius. And I'm a little frustrated that there's no such thing as a fart fairy. I'm a little frustrated that there's no books about fart fairies. There's no T-shirts about fart fairies. There's no folklore about fart fairies. But I'm telling you today, February the 17th of the year of the Lord 2022, and episode 6 of the Aggressive Whiskers podcast, my printer is going to sleep. Fart fairies becomes a thing right now. I'm telling you right now. That might even be the name of the podcast. There's a part of me that thinks Uncle Adam is going to show up at any moment to come down here. I have his Roto-Rooter in my furnace room, and I know he needs it. But anyway, fart fairies. Tell your kids. Tell your mama. Tell your friends. Fart fairies. If anybody wants to make me a T-shirt with a fart fairy on it, I will give you my post office address. You can send it to me. What else is new? Nothing. Got another snowstorm here. I'm drinking a beer on the podcast for the first time in a long time. This is a Zombie Dust by Three Floyds Brewery. Zombie Dust. Get you turned up real quick. You know what I'm saying? Had a busy day. That's not true. Had a long day. That's true. I have a longer day tomorrow. I'm going to probably have to get up at 5 and shovel snow. I'm tired of the snow, man. Tired of it. I think this is that time of year where everybody gets tired of it. February. Feels like winter's just been going on and on and on and on and on. And you get like one warm day. So yesterday it was like 47. I wore shorts out at Beefcakes, which is my gym out in the barn. I wore shorts, which was probably juvenile to say the least, but I did nonetheless. And it was a fabulous workout. It was wonderful outside. Melted almost all of the snow. And then it rained. And then it freezing rained this morning. And now it is fucking snowing again. And the forecast says 6 to 10. And I will probably have to get up at like 5 and plow the driveway, which is fine. But it's just going to make for another long day. But anyway, like I was saying, this is the time of year where everybody gets a hankering to go to Florida or take a vacation because they're tired of the weather and they're tired of the snow and being cold and stuck in their house and they're tired of being around their family and everyone's dumb and everyone's sick and they just want to go down south and wear scantily clad bathing suits on the beach and get sunburn and drink fruity alcoholic beverages on the beach at a swim up bar and maybe get fingered on a Ferris wheel. I don't know, but there's just some of those fantasies that people have this time of year when they're just tired of being at home, especially these Midwesterners who just have this. You get your first spring, then you get your second winter, and then you get real spring, which is probably going to be in like a week or so. But my birthday being in March, it's it's a crapshoot on what you get. It could be beautiful, it could be fucking cold and snowy. That first year we moved back to Michigan from Florida in 2017, I think we moved in on like February the 21st. So it's been almost, so on Monday, it will be 5 years of me being back here. Anyway, it was like in the 70s, and it was warm and sweaty, and moving everything into the house. It was perfect. But I think on April 19th that year, we got like 6 inches of snow first thing in the morning. And then I think it was melted in the afternoon. But so just that's the way it is up here. And I understand the sentiment. I do, believe me. I'm getting a little stir crazy myself. I'm still recovering from the eye. I'm limited on what I can do. I can work out in beefcakes, but I can't bounce. Ladies, no bouncing, no jump roping. I can't lift anything too super heavy. Now they say 10 pounds, and I think it's 10 pounds because the median age at the eye doctor's office, I'm not even going to try, at the eye doctor's office is got to be like 80. So I would imagine 10 pounds is overexerting an 80-year-old. For myself, 10 pounds is not too much. I've been using my 30s. I've been trying to do some cardio to burn some lardio. You know what I'm saying? Cardio for lardio. But anyway, I've been enjoying doing that. But I am getting stir crazy. I'm stuck in the basement all day, not really traveling for work because I really shouldn't be driving that far, but I want to. Haven't gone to the hunting property to look for antlers yet. Can't really do a full workout. Waiting on my extra monies to start looking for real estate for the gym. And anyway, it is a frustrating time of year, but I'm looking forward to warm weather. I'm looking forward to getting beefed up proper at beefcakes. I'm looking forward to buying my gym. I'm looking forward to you all joining me. And anyway, that's all I really wanted to talk about today. I'm bringing 1, 2, 3, 4 things. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more notes with me next week that have been on this list from day one. And one of them has to do with OnlyFans. And if you've been listening to me since How About Our Podcast, we've been talking about OnlyFans for a long time. And I think you need to start one up. Supplemental income, passive income. It's the only way to do it. Anyway, thanks everybody for listening. Stay tuned. I'll see you next week. Talk to you later. Bye.